I recently learned that my bones may have already reached their strongest point some years ago. Mhm. Learning that big bone mass actually happens by age of 30 made me rethink everything. Bone health isn't just about an elder person concern as everyone thinks, but actually, the earlier we start, the better. Hello, my name is Andrea and I'm customer service leader with over 7 years of experience leading high volume teams across multiple industries. I'm focused on creating thoughtful customer experiences where people feel heard, supported, and generally cared for. In this video, I will be sharing my thoughts and answering questions provided for the team lead role within the Logical Customer Success Center. Thank you for watching this. Let's start. Keeping in mind that success isn't about the fastest response times, but about the quality of support and experience we provide our customers, to measure team success, I would be focusing on customer satisfaction score, net promoter score, and first contact resolution KPIs. Keep This KPI is one of the most direct ways for us to understand whether we met customer expectations in a very specific moment, in a very honest way, and will help us actually to stay consistent in execution. So, knowing that logical customers may come or may call our customer center with fear, feeling unsure, and looking for clarity, the focus will not only be on resolving their questions, but also on how well supported, confident, and clearly informed they feel after speaking with us. Even when we are taking the necessary time to explain things properly and guide customers with care, this KPI will actually show us whether the approach is actually landing well and where we may need to improve clarity, tone, or process. Basically, this KPI will allow us to understand the bigger picture. That's where customer value becomes really important, since this will help us understand whether customers actually feel the product, service, and the guidance we are providing are actually worth it in the long run. This can be influenced by multiple items such as onboarding, clarity, consistency in our customer service, or whether customers feel confident enough using our products day to day. This KPI will allow us to know if customers actually will recommend us, being word of mouth one of the most powerful, effective, and organic forms of promotion. Basically, in an environment where focus is on slowing down, educating properly, and making sure customers feel calm and confident, first course contact resolution becomes especially meaningful. First, it ensures that taking the time to do things right actually leads to real understanding and proper resolution, not just short term reassurance. Second, it adds real customer value by reducing the need for repeat contacts, making the experience smoother and less frustrating for the customer, but also team members. Third, and finally, it improves efficiency by lowering the cost to serve and freeing up customer service specialists for other customers more effectively. In an Incentives should reinforce the exceptional experience that we want to create for our customers. Since my focus would be on CSAT, NPS, and first contact resolution KPIs, I would motivate the team through coaching, continuous development, and a culture where team members feel generally supported. For example, if a customer requires multiple follow-ups, I will sit down with that customer support specialist and review the interaction together so we can both identify which kind of information could have been communicated more clearly the first time. Not to point out mistakes, but to share the tips and tricks that I have gained throughout my experience working in customer service. In Algical's context, that might mean understanding how to easily explain bone density loss or calcium absorption in a way that is not technical but accurate, simple, and actionable for our customers. On the development side, I will invest in a regular role play scenarios around Algical's most common FAQs. When team members feel comfortable explaining more complex information, that confidence actually comes naturally and it translates in stronger interactions and better outcomes. For recognition, I will make sure to celebrate team achievements, but also individual ones. Of course, I will need to understand the do's and don'ts from the company, the HR guidelines, and what my boundaries are. But I also believe that team connection plays an important role in motivation and long term performance. So I would encourage occasional outdoor team building activities, volunteering, team lounges, or coffee chats. I think that in a role that requires empathy, patience, and emotional energy, creating those opportunities for people to reconnect outside of daily tasks actually strengthens their relationships, boosts morale, and avoids burnout. Avoid AI can be a really strong supportive tool that can help both customers and customer service teams to have a smoother and more informed experience. AI can be especially helpful with the behind the scenes repetitive tasks that take actually time away from customers, such as summarizing conversations, translation from other languages, updating CRM notes, or simple tasks like order status, shipping updates, password resets, and basic FAQs. AI is helpful identifying patterns in customers' feedback, common concerns, or recurring questions so we can actually better understand customer pain points, reduce those frictions, and continue improving their experience. AI gives space for what really matters, taking the time to truly listen, educate, and support our customers so they can feel confident, cared, and well informed to take confident decisions. Where I would be more cautious about incorporating AI in our processes is in situations where empathy, reassurance, and trust are essential. Customers are often reaching out with fear. In those moments, I do believe that require a human response. If AI is overused in that area, for example, like with banks, where personalizing really important information is not being answered, um, it can really risk making the experience feel impersonal and transactional, which is the way opposite of what builds trust. Hi, Patrick. Thank you for taking the time to meet with me today. First, I want to acknowledge the hard work and support you consistently provide to our customers. Your efforts are not going unnoticed. I was reviewing your last email to Betty, and I want to recognize the most important part. You solved the customer's issue. She received the support she needed, and that's the main goal. I just wanted to share a few small ideas that could make future responses feel even more supportive. First, the greeting. The tone was already friendly, which is great, but using the customer's name more intentionally can help create a warmer and more personal connection. Second, the structure. The information was there, but organizing it a bit more clearly can make it easier for the customer to quickly follow, especially when there are multiple updates in one message. Third, I noticed a small grammar mistake. Not a biggie, it happens to everyone, but tools like AI can help catch those little details before sending. Lastly, the closing could feel just a little more warmer, supportive, and professional.
Overall, I think the response already has a solid foundation, and with just a few adjustments, it can feel even more natural and caring. I want to make sure that you feel fully supported. So if you feel like you need it, let's spend some time together creating a few templates that you could use in two or three different scenarios. Let me know and I will book some time together. Lastly, I want to share that I created a quick example for you. Check it out and let me know your thoughts.